Hi everyone and welcome to Deetaux, where we talk about life and work. My name is Dee, I'm your host, and today we have with us Mayank Sharma, Operations Manager for Elite Express Supply Chain and Logistics Industry. Hi Mayank.
Hi Dee, how are you?
All good. How are you? How's everything?
I'm good, thank you.
Mayank, we're going to move into the first question.
Sure.
So you started off your career at the age of 23 as a part-time invigilator.
Yeah, right.
And now you're in supply chain. How would you describe your 9 years of career?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I started as an invigilator during my college days. It was like a part-time gig. Then I started looking for startups. I mean, I had a thing for transportation and logistics since my childhood.
Okay.
Somehow. So I looked for startups which are mostly into logistics or last mile deliveries. So I got to know about Jugnu through a friend. He referred me there.
Okay.
So I was applying for a supply manager position, but I had to learn all these things there.
Right.
So it was a 3 days interview, practical interview. Nothing,
Wow.
no questions were asked. And after 3 months, I was promoted to city manager. So basically,
Wow.
I had to manage demand and supply both.
Okay.
So you can say it was a single super app where you can book a cab for yourself.
Yeah.
You can order food, you can
Yeah.
order groceries, and even B2B deliveries are there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So after Jugnu, I went to Ola, again
Okay.
in India only.
Okay.
But again, it was a drastic transition from being a core supply or operations guy in Jugnu. I went to data security operations in Ola on the central level. So
Okay.
yeah.
Like operations for the security.
Operations for the security. So basically, we have to find out the loopholes, operational loopholes, you can say, if there is any trick the drivers can use to bypass in the application.
Understood. Yeah.
Is there any process gap in the whole organization where data can be breached? So we used to talk to vendors like Google, Microsoft, Symantec to find the solutions for DLP, which is data loss prevention.
Yeah.
So
That's
cloud
fantastic.
computing.
That's actually so like exciting, you know.
Yeah, so that was very exciting, but unfortunately or fortunately, I would say that I got the opportunity to interview with City Bus in
Yeah,
Kuwait.
yeah.
So I interviewed from there, and I was hired directly from India
Yeah.
as the operations manager for the city van department.
Understood. No, that's amazing, honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, to see the drastic change, and I really hope that this industry that you're in right now is,
Yeah.
completely satisfactory in the sense of, a career for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Mayank, we'll move on to the second question. This is, I would say, like a trick question, actually.
Okay, no problem.
Do you think we choose our careers, or does our careers choose us?
I think it's again subjective, but I would say people who find their skills
Yeah.
early in their career or early in their education
Yes,
journey,
yes.
I think they are more tend to choose their careers.
Yes.
I mean, like one of my cousin, he was always into merchant navy.
Yes.
He wanted to be a captain, and right now he's a captain. So
yeah.
I mean those guys, and I'm not one of them,
Yes.
to be very honest.
Yes.
So I didn't know what to do after my college. So I ended up
You
teaching.
ended up-
Yeah, I ended up teaching, but then eventually I got to know that okay, I want to get into transportation and logistics.
Yes,
I mean that's when I chose my career, but
Yeah.
until then I didn't.
Okay, understood. What is the industry that could perhaps have a crossover with logistics in the near future?
Okay. I think again there are multiple aspects to this. So right now industry is already having going through a drastic you can say digitalization. I would say,
Yes,
especially in
yes.
terms of logistics and supply chains. Like especially if I talk about India,
Yeah.
so the government itself, they are focusing on multi-modal supply chain solutions. Where for example, if I'm a shipper in India and I want to export something to US, let's say, so I will need multiple models of transportation.
Yes.
So they are trying to build a portal where I can just enter the pin codes of the origin and the destination, and it should eventually give me
Wow.
the land options, then sea options, then rail options, and the air freight options, and the pricing and the vendors for all these things, transit times for all the connections.
Wow.
So this is what they are trying to build.
Okay.
So there is a drastic, I would say, improvement which
Yes.
we are going to see in this industry. But as per my current experience, I think it is more towards AI and ML in terms of sorting the shipments, in terms of
Yes,
routing
yes, yes.
the
Intelligent
last,
sorting
yeah,
systems and-
exactly.
yeah.
And I would say there has to be some amalgamation between the government authorities as well, because right now most of the cities are planned like there is a, I would say, residential hub in one corner, and the office spaces are on the other corner. That's when you face traffic problems.
Yes.
So the government agencies have to get involved in this, most probably city planning, traffic management, and helping companies build this intermodal basically logistic solutions.
Understood.
A single platform where you can have all the models of
these,
all the modes of
yes,
transportations,
yes.
rail, road, sea and air.
Correct. Even Saudi Arabia recently have, they've been really investing in these new startup projects, especially
Yes.
tech projects that are very much constrained towards logistics, supply chain, and like you said, connecting multiple, like you
Yes.
have one pickup location and drop off location.
Yeah,
Because
right.
usually in this industry is like, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
Exactly.
And then you
Yes.
get the job done versus
And then
having it-
and the margin keeps on increasing. I mean, everybody puts his stake of margin, so that's why.
Oh, that's fantastic, actually.
Yeah,
So much information today. That's great. So, Mayank, we'll move on to question number 4, which is what are your tried and tested ways of dealing with pressure situations?
Okay, so I have my own ways of, I would say, sharing it or handling the pressure. So I mean, as I told you, that my initial career was into
Yes,
teaching.
yes.
So most of it came from there directly, because I mean, I can't shout, I can't scold them, or
Yes.
I can't even raise my voice
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I have to be very polite to answer each and every silly questions also. I mean, most of them were silly only. So it came from there. Then I think most of it is through communications.
Yeah.
Either it is peer-to-peer communication, or you talk to your family members or friends.
Yes.
So this is how I have been managing pressure, especially in terms of work. If it comes to work, so I would say everybody should follow this 25-5 rule, which is basically you work for 25 straight minutes without any distraction, and
Yeah.
then you take a 5-minute rest.
Okay.
You go for a break of cigarette or coffee break or whatever, and then come back and without any distractions work for 25 minutes.
Another 25
So that is one way to deal with pressure, and I would say 99% of your pressure would be released, and you will be able to finish all your
Is this
tasks by the
something that
end of
you-
the day. Yeah.
This is something that you personally
Yes.
do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, because I go for water breaks, so this ensures that I am keeping myself hydrated,
Yes.
and I'm
That's
taking that 5-minute break as
Yes,
well.
yes,
So that is one way to, and yeah, by the way, keeping hydrated also
It makes a huge difference,
Yes,
like
right.
even having your lunch on time.
Right.
Most of the time we deprioritize, like, oh, I'll have lunch after a
Yes.
bit because I have this super
Right,
important thing.
right.
And then that super important thing just keeps
Correct.
going on, and then you skip lunch.
I mean,
and
I didn't say lunch because I'm a one meal a day person, so I wouldn't advise lunch, but yeah, water break is fine. And second thing is you can listen to music. Let's say like sometimes I listen to Punjabi music, sometimes to religious songs.
Yes,
Just one
yes.
song, 5 minutes it will be,
Yeah.
and you can continue
and
your
then you
day.
can continue the work.
That's how,
great.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. Honestly,
Yes.
but thank you for like putting the insight on hydration and how important it is
Yeah.
to be honest, it's always like tried and tested in a sense that it's the simpler things
Yes, that works.
Yes. Like for example, when you're having a very stressful day, just going out and going for a walk,
Yes.
just simply, just randomly, it changes your entire perception of the day.
Right.
How bad the day was. You're
Right.
like, well, the day
Yes.
wasn't that bad anyways.
Right.
So, okay, we're going to move on to the last question, which
Sure.
is how would you say this? Okay,
Okay.
in quotes, please find attached for the 5th time.
Okay. So you mean to say it's a 5th reminder to
Yes, like let's say you've already attached this email, you've attached this document in email 5 times, and they call you, Mayank, where is this document? So of course you're going to enter,
Yeah.
like you can't
Right.
check your email kind, but how do you say it in a very corporate way?
Okay. So as I told you that I am very patient
Yes.
and soft spoken in my workplace, and I don't have a short temper there. So I will always say that please find attached,
Okay.
no matter what. You will never find me saying anything else.
And then let's say he gets back to you after a week. Mayank, you never send me
And then
that
if you want to
document.
send the reminder, I would say just send the reminder, tag the person, send the reminder,
Tag the person
keep it
and
in,
just
and keep enlarging the font and make it bold. I mean, yeah, sometimes it works out.
Just in red, highlighted red. text
Highlighted
with-
red or
yeah.
whatever. You can highlight and just enlarge the font every time you send a reminder.
Alright, guys. So according to Mayank, if you enlarge the font,
I mean,
if you enlarge the font, it means that it's like you please find attached.
Yes,
You know,
right.
enlarge it. No, that's great. Actually, I'm gonna apply that.
sure, no.
Because again, this is off topics, but I'm
Yeah.
very sarcastic in my emails when someone does not find please attach. All right, so before we move on to the last segment of the show, Mayank,
Sure.
what advice would you give to someone opting for the same career or who's already in your industry?
Okay. So somebody who's, let's say, in the last or final year of their college, so and they're looking to get into supply chain or logistics industry, I would suggest that they should look for the technologies that are going to impact this industry.
Yeah.
As we discussed, AI, ML, blockchain is there. Then this warehousing tuning is there, and they should I would say lean towards those technologies, learn some basic softwares or
Yes.
tools, and I would say they should not try to get into the operations part of it, but in the analysis or the data part of it, optimization of you can say routes or whatever
Yes.
that can help, because as of today I would say starting in operations is not that great of a choice.
Yeah.
I would say because you won't find the career trajectory what you are looking for.
Yeah.
But if you are going into the data side of it, then maybe you can see that growth for yourself.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, if I'm getting this correctly, that data is a very essential part and data
Yes.
analysis when it comes to taking on any kind of managerial position, be it supply chain manager,
Yes.
be it operation manager, and
Yeah,
so on and
right,
so forth, versus just being hardcore operations.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And somebody who is already there in this industry, and let's say on the intermediate levels,
Yes, let's say ground
ground
supervisor.
staff, supervisors, executives, then I would say they should start learning some extra. I would say enroll in some courses, either on LinkedIn, Coursera, or there are a lot of sites.
Yeah.
And most of the companies they provide multiple courses.
Yeah.
They can enroll there and do it. But unfortunately, this is from my personal experience. The ground staff, they don't get enough time. If they get enough time, they don't want to enroll themselves in that.
Yes.
And most of the people here in this country,
Yeah.
they don't know the basic excels. If you ask them, they will say I know pivot and let's say VLOOKUP. That's
Yeah,
not basic.
yeah.
That is I
That's
would
what
say
you like study in computer class.
yeah. So basic will be some stages forward. So
Yeah.
I would say they should learn that. And they should, yeah, as I said, they should try to ask their manager or their HR how they can proceed or how they can see themselves in
Yeah.
next 2 years or next 1 year or next 5 years. Maybe they are the right persons who can guide them because they are in that industry.
Yes.
They can help them provide the courses or
Yeah.
the trajectory.
Yeah. No, that's
This
great.
is one way. But yeah, keep learning, I would say.
Yeah. Learning, I'll say in I don't know if this is like vastly, how can I say, accepted, but the form of even internships, a certain type of internships
Yes.
that you can take on because you're able to, acquire so much knowledge
Right.
when you apply that knowledge versus
Yes.
just acquiring,
Right.
knowledge in a sense, like even courses and so on and so forth. But like you said, that your experience in Jugnu was so rich that it allowed
Yes.
you to,
Yeah.
because you were on your own. They were like,
Yes.
just do whatever you
Right.
so I think that was a very important part in your life, and that's also something that because there are a lot of people who are trying to climb the corporate ladder but always end up at a certain, I would say, mid management level,
Yes,
like
yes.
ground supervisor up until senior supervisor,
Right.
or let's say warehouse supervisor
Yes.
at max,
Yeah.
versus someone who's trying to opt for something much more like
Okay.
a managerial position.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I would like to address 2 points also. One is always prepare your CV as per your experience.
Yeah.
Don't just copy paste it from someone else's or from the internet. Make sure you write whatever you have done every month. So let's say if I have a 2 years experience in an X company, I have to write what have I done in that company each month for the
Yes.
24 months.
Okay.
So I might be able to write 2 pages, and then I have to cut it down to let's say some bullet points for each month,
Yeah.
then cut it down to each quarter,
Yes.
and then I'll come up with few points that okay, these are the final points I want to include in my CV.
Yes.
And don't be shy or don't be afraid of applying. Apply anywhere and everywhere. I have applied more than 500 jobs. I got 10 calls. I gave 4 interviews and I got selected in 2. So you can just imagine. I mean, not 500 exactly were for matching with my profile,
Yeah.
but I would say at least 300 were.
Yes,
But
yes.
I got only 10 calls.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the ratio you can see. And now that's continuously decreasing, by the way. So,
At
so
this day and age right
yes.
now.
So
Yeah.
CV has to be very precise.
Yes.
And don't lie in the CV because they will catch you.
Lie in what sense?
Lie in what sense? Like you can write anything in your CV, but when they will cross question you, you might not know.
Correct.
So, for example, if you have written, I'm an analyst, and I have done so and so of data crunching, which helped me reduce this much of cost or something. And let's say the interviewer asks you, how many times you blink a day. So now you have to be very analytical on spot.
Yes.
So if somebody asks me how would I answer that is like I take 8 hours sleep, I am awake 16 hours. So every hour, let's say now I will drop it down to every minute.
Yeah.
So every minute, let's say I'm blinking 10 times.
Yes.
So which is like 6 seconds per blink,
Yes.
or a blink per
Yes.
6 seconds. Then I will multiply it by 16 hours,
Yes.
and then I will give him the answer. He doesn't want the answer. The interviewer will never go for that answer.
Yes.
He only wants to know your approach.
Yes. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for all of the very precise answers. Mayank,
you.
we are going to move on to the last segment of the show, actually, which is the most exciting segment
Okay.
of the show.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick out 5 questions from here.
Okay.
You can answer or pass. Okay, Mayank. So the first question is, what's something big or small that you're really good at?
Okay. Can we pass it? I mean,
Fast.
okay.
All right. So, all right. What's a skill or hobby you wish you had more time to pursue?
I would say learning some data analytical softwares like SQL, Python. That would have really helped my career.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's great. If you could become fluent in any language, which one would you choose?
Sanskrit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one of the most difficult
Yes.
languages. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a team player are you?
I would say 9.
9.
Yeah.
So your schoolmates must have been like very happy if you guys collaborated on a school project.
I mean, my colleagues have been very happy.
What's a mistake you made early on in your career and what did you learn from it?
I would say I should have stayed in Jugnu maybe a couple of months more, joined the regional team.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one mistake. Another mistake is I would have grabbed the opportunities which were coming at me when I was in India. Those were really good options.
And how would you apply, what you've learned from it now?
If it comes again, I'll go for it.
Okay, all right, that's great. That's a great way of ending the show. And Mayank, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much.
This was a fantastic episode, and thank you for all of your very detailed feedback. And I hope someone who is on a similar path or is looking forward to entering supply chain and logistics, if you guys want to have any of his social, is going to be linked on www.deetox.com. Thank you, Mayank. Do you
Thank
have
you so
any
much.
closing words?
I would like to congratulate you for this new endeavor, and I really like the new name, which I think is a part of your name as well.
Yes.
So
Deetox.
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and see you guys again next time.